Hello and welcome to Casual Shenanigans, episode 19. I'm one of your hosts. Oh wait, hold up. It's a podcast all about DayZ, Battlefield, all things PC gaming related. Man, I've really been sticking the intros lately.
So enthralling.
I'm joined by some of my co-hosts, Chris.
Hey.
Dave.
Hey folks, I am Dave, the not so evil Viking 13.
Me, I'm Jeremiah, or JERMgaming, and Joel.
It's Joel.
So smooth. So
All
refreshing.
Right. Goes down smooth.
Joel, is that special fruity water, Joel?
Yes.
That stuff's
Sparkling
nasty.
ice.
That stuff is nasty. My wife got some and I tried it and I thought it was disgusting. But to each their own. I'm happy that you like it. And then Dave is also joined by his half-gallon of coffee this evening.
Yeah, boy. Let's get this podcast done.
All right. Let's start the podcast with the news.
News time.
All right. Guess
Thanks,
we're doing
Joel.
that now. Rocket made the mistake of mentioning the word DayZ recently, and numerous comment sections across the internet exploded in wildly improbable speculation and arguments about the supposed release date or existence of the DayZ standalone. As usual, almost none of the speculation was rooted in any sort of objective reality, but that's fairly typical for the internet. And Dave, what was the gist of what Rocket said versus what people thought he was saying?
Which thing? Because it happens every time.
This most recent time when he said they were getting ready to do the milestone review.
Oh yeah, he posted that they were having their big internal end of July review, which is gonna mainly go over their goals for getting that alpha build ready, and like if their current dev build is ready to become the public alpha. It's a big, important milestone, so he was all excited about it, and he basically posted a tweet saying, we're going to have this big meeting next week internally about that alpha state and where we are in the milestone. And then after that, there's a devblog coming explaining what that means for you guys. And immediately everyone started saying, so standalone's coming out next week, right? He said next week. I heard the words next week, right, guys? So he had to reply with a second tweet and a 4-paragraph post on the forums explaining exactly what he meant. Like each word from his original tweet was broken down. Like internal means not for you guys. And then it was, yeah, it's pretty desperate out there.
Come on, internet, get it together. All right. There's a new mod for Half-Life 2 called Cry Life. It's a dumb name, but despite having a really stupid name, the mod sounds amazing. It ports the nano suit from Crysis 1 into Half-Life 2. If this sounds like the best idea you've ever heard, gameplay videos do seem to confirm that. And it's
Is this actually real, or are you just making this up?
No, this is the news, Joel.
It does sound totally fake.
No, it's really real. This is the news. You think I just make stuff up for the news? That doesn't sound like the news at all.
It was good enough for cable.
Our news feature is like 2 truths and a lie. Gotta pick which one.
I can't find it anywhere. Cry Life?
Well, it was real earlier this week.
It's old news now.
I went to the forum that they had posted it and had all the stuff for. I didn't install it. Cry Life, one word. And it's the nano suit from Crysis 1, or the only real Crysis.
There's some low blows.
If you can't afford a Mac Pro Tower, or if you don't prefer Macs in general, and if you aren't able to build a custom PC, buying a high-powered workstation can be a bit of a challenge. There are lots of really ugly, expensive models from Dell and Lenovo, but, it's not as easy to buy like a high-powered workstation PC. Thankfully, the Kmart of boutique PC builders has you covered. Cyberpower PC has just announced... Hold on, wait for the name. Has just announced its Power Mega 3 series of workstation PCs. Yes, the Power Mega 3. Now, the name is dumb, but the specs aren't bad. $1,100 will get you a rig with a 4770K, 8 gigs of RAM, a Quadro K600 GPU, and Windows 8 Pro. So that's $1,100. That's really not bad.
$1,100 may get you a nice computer, but it won't wash away the shame of owning that thing.
The case for that one's pretty ugly. But if you step up, the top of the line configuration costs $4,269. and it includes two Intel Xeon 6-core processors, 32 gigs of RAM, a Quadro K4000 GPU, and like 3 terabytes of storage, and a 256 gigabyte SSD boot drive.
That is an actual workstation. Jeez.
Yeah. Now, the inevitable comparisons to the Mac Pro, the Power Mega 3 does not have a stylish case that looks like an upside down trash can like the Mac Pro, but it is pretty good. It's got a really nice like white case. I forget who makes it, maybe Silverstone. But a similarly spec'd Mac Pro will cost you $5,100, but that's without the SSD or the GPU. The GPU just by itself, the K4000, is $800, and the best GPU that Apple offers is a Radeon 5870. That's like
come on, Apple.
the best GPU you can buy.
Wow.
Just so everyone who owns Macs knows, Joel, you may not know how good a Radeon 5870 is. It's not. I mean, it's fine. Chris has a 5850. He's still able to play everything we are, but that's not
Which is a great game, but I mean, it's
come
a
on,
great
Jeremiah.
card.
It's not a high-end card,
But
though.
it's an old card at this
The
point.
5870 is like an $150 card. So
But it's the peak of 2009 technology. It's
Exactly.
pretty
It's still
top of the line.
$150 for that piece of crap?
well, no. If you upgrade to it in a Mac Pro, it's a couple $100. But
Yeah, Macs definitely have really bad video cards. Their laptops have decent ones, but
yeah, the
they're-
laptops.
that's-
Now this
That's
is not
funny, yeah.
this isn't one of the trash can Mac Pros. Those haven't actually come out yet. They've just been announced, so it's possible
Yeah.
that they'll have better GPUs when they come out. But still, how hard is it for Apple to like bump up which GPU is available? Like, why can't you get a 7970 or something? That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of GPUs,
Yes.
I just put the 6600 Ti in my work computer, which is a massive card I didn't realize, but it cut my render times by 80%. It's like amazing performance boost.
Nice.
It
What
went
did you
from,
upgrade from?
like a 5450.
Oh, so not even like that. That's
Well,
the
I
video
wasn't
card.
even using. I was using the previously my i7 to render everything.
Oh, okay.
So I went from
What are you
CPU
what are
to
you
GPU.
what are you rendering?
3D files.
Cool.
So
I was just wondering.
Joel doesn't care
exciting
anymore.
point of my week.
Yeah, that is really exciting. I remember when I started learning Adobe Premiere, I got a GTX 650 for my work computer, and my render times dropped a ton. Just being able to render on CUDA. So I imagine the 660 Ti, that's even better. The 660 Ti, that's comparable to my 7950 for graphics power. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Is your
80%? It went from like, a base, and this was actually an unoptimized render of 20 seconds, went down to like 3.9 seconds. I mean,
that's pretty good. That's way
Yeah.
better than 80%, Chris.
that is 80%. 4 is 80% of, or 4 is 20% of 20.
Yay, math podcast.
I did the math, so I know.
Next coming up,
I might have been totally
geometry.
wrong in what I just said, but
Well, it depends on how you consider it, because you could say it's now like 400% faster.
you could say
Or
a
it's
That
percentage
sounds
faster.
exciting right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Say it that way. Say it
It
that
was
way.
a decrease of 80%.
All right. Yeah, we
Which
say
is a good
80
thing for rendering.
when you say
Sidetrack.
when you say 80% faster. Yeah, 80%. Never mind. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm sorry.
Hey, Chris, you'll appreciate this. I'm always up for faster render times. I had one still render I had to do this week where I changed one texture in the background of a building, and it required like re-rendering the entire scene again. And it was like 7 hours for a single frame
Whoa!
to change
Dang.
one texture.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were trying to run Crysis 3 on Ultra. 1 frame is 7 hours.
Or DayZ on medium.
yeah. So
Hey, Joel.
true.
This next news item is something you might be interested in. What is the worldwide leader in tablets?
Worldwide leader? in
Yeah.
tablets?
What's the best tablet in the world, or the most popular tablet in the world?
I mean, I would have to see probably iPad, I guess.
That's what I would have thought too. Honestly, like even though I'm about
Is most like purchased or what? Or like the OS running on it? Because I'm sure Android is the highest for running on a tablet, but I'm not sure it's the highest purchased. Like single tablet.
okay.
Because I mean, Android has like 32 different tablets, so I'm not really sure you can count like all those as summed up as one. But
well, this is interesting. Android actually has a 67% market share in the tablet space, which I thought was way more than I was thinking. Like that's a lot. Yeah. I thought Apple was either ahead or like they were neck and neck, but that's like a huge difference. The iPad is only at 28.3%, and the Microsoft Surface is holding on to 4.5%, which is crazy to think that, like, so that would mean, 1 out of every 7 people who owns an iPad, that's the same number of people who own Surfaces. I've never even seen a Surface like that someone actually owns.
A friend of mine
I've seen one.
a friend of mine just sold his iPad to get one, and he's like, I know I'm being shameful of Apple, but he actually had a legit reason to buy one. He says as a tablet, it's a piece of crap, but he said it's a cheap alternative to be able to run some just Windows software because he's studying to be an engineer.
Is it a Surface Pro?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, the Surface Pro. I mean, that's
on it.
Yeah, that's full x86 Windows. I mean, that's basically a laptop as far as its capabilities.
Exactly. So he needed something because his engineering software could run on it, and he could keep it at work or carry it around during school and stuff.
Yeah, the Surface RT. If it wasn't like $1,000, I think it would be a lot more appealing.
I actually wanted to get one of them, but I still think the design is really terrible.
So I was curious how Android has that big of a market share. So I did a little research, and this is why. Have you seen those little crappy $100 Android tablets that are like off-brand looking things? Like the
I've seen them before. Gosh.
That's how. That's like 40% of all Android tablets sold are those things. My dad got one gifted to him by a vendor that he bought like lots of stuff from, and they gave him one to run like a certain piece of software on it. And it is the worst. He brought it to me. He was like, "Can you figure out how to get the Play Store onto this? Because it doesn't come with the Play Store." And I couldn't even get it. Like, it was trying to run Android 4.0, and it just crashed right and left. The resolution, it wasn't even running at its native resolution, so it was stretched. Like, new out of the box, it was stretched, and it was so laggy, and it wasn't a capacitive touchscreen. It was a resistive touchscreen.
Oh, man.
So, like, if you owned one of those first smartphones from 2005 or whatever, like with the, that could just barely surf the internet, that type of touchscreen, it was so
It's like you're carrying around
bad.
a Sheets kiosk.
Yeah,
Want to hear?
it was so bad.
A really funny story, actually. I went into Best Buy, and there was a tablet that had Windows 8 running on it, the OS, right?
Uh-huh.
And so, I've had multiple talks with Dave saying, I think the operating system is just a terrible piece of crap. With the OS, like, combining both is just a terrible idea because, people say, well, you just got to get used to it. I'm like, well, okay, let me try this out. So I pulled up an app on it, and I just sat back, and I watched people play with it. No one could figure out how to get out of the app. No one could. No one had any idea, and no one had any idea you could press one of the, because some of the tablets have the little like Windows button you can press to kind of get out of it.
Right.
But when you press it, it went as this other thing. They just got stuck. No one could figure it out, so they just walked by. They're like, "What the heck?" It was hilarious. And I went to all the computers, and I went onto a certain app. So all these people coming up to see that Windows 8 operating system on these laptops, like people are talking like, how do I do this? Even the people at Best Buy didn't know how to close one of the apps on there.
Joel just wants to watch the world burn.
The first time that I installed Windows 8 on my work computer, I had my supervisor who loves Apple walk over to try it out. And all I did was open the weather app and tell him, get back to the desktop. And he couldn't figure it out. Like, there's no like UI or menu option to close it. The correct answer is press the Windows D button to skip to the desktop, or grab the top of the app and drag it to the bottom of your screen, which only starts showing that you're actually doing something when you're about halfway down.
So just pressing the Windows key doesn't take you to the desktop?
No, pressing the Windows key just brings up more app options.
Well, that seems like a really missed opportunity, because that's a key that every single PC keyboard has had for years.
Wait, what are we talking about? Windows 8?
Yes.
We might be getting slightly here.
But like the Windows key, that should take you right to the desktop. Like that makes the most sense. Or
It toggles you
the
between
splash
whatever
screen.
app, even if the desktop is that app and Metro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does it? You're saying it does or it should?
It does.
It does. Oh, okay. Well, that's better. Anyway.
He was so lost.
So, last news story of this week before we go on to other things. A mistake resulted in the largest battle in EVE Online's history. The friendly folks over at r/explain like I'm 5 wrote up a nice summary that describes the carnage. Essentially, a player accidentally warped into hostile territory. He called for backup, the other people called for backup called for backup, and several hours later, the BBC and the Huffington Post were reporting on the story.
Oh my gosh.
Over 3,000 ships
this.
and $25,000 worth of ships were destroyed. 25,000 real world dollars of ships were destroyed, and it's estimated that over 4,000 ships participated in the battle. I saw screenshots of it. It looks so scary. Like the screen is just completely full of colored dots fighting each other.
I'm just imagining that that first guy that warped, just he sees his screen, his eyes grow wide, and the color just drains out of his face.
Well, no. What it
What
was
have I
he
done?
supposedly he warped into an area where like there were just a couple, opposing players from another corporation. So he
Right.
just tried to get some backup. They warped in. The other corporation was like, "Oh no, they're attacking us! Get the guys!" And then when backup for the other people arrived, they're like, "Oh no, what's going on?" And it just like snowballed from there.
It
I
is an
guess
attack. I knew it.
no one was like, "Hey guys, maybe we should talk to the other people." Everyone was like,
That had to
"Kill-
have been a blast, though.
shooting first,
It's
thinking
like
later."
DayZ, like when the encounter happens, there's so much at stake. Like it just, it makes it so intense.
That's true. That's
gotta
true. That's
be-
why most people are like, I'm friendly," while they're pulling a gun out and firing. Friendly.
I can see Dave in that situation. We're all in there like, yeah, kill, and Dave's off behind like an asteroid hiding, peeking behind it like, the loot will be all mine when everyone's dead.
Are you
You
kidding
can
me?
loot
Pull my
me.
modem out of the wall.
Yeah.
I'm out. My loot is mine.
Anyway, well, guys, that was the news this week. And now we have some comments on last week's podcast. Dave, would you like to take this away?
I got this. All right, we have some podcast comments regarding our ranting last week about developers and general fan rage.
Now, please, the one guy we were just talking about for the podcast, please don't read his username until we're done reading what he said, because it makes it 10 times better.
Oh, you mean the second set of comments?
Yes.
Okay.
His username makes what he says so much better.
Okay. Our first comment was a really great point. This is from
Wait, hold
X-Rays.
on. Before you start, we got to give this section a name. I'm calling it Hate Mail. Send in your hate mail. Go ahead.
Dun, dun. Alright, this is actually not hate mail at all, but this is a great comment from X-Ray 606 on my YouTube version of the podcast. And he said that I would love to think that the self-entitled, fairly delusional, it's all about me members of the internet community mainly consist of 12-year-olds, but the sad fact is that many of them are also 20 and even 30-somethings, most likely living in their parents' basement.
Yeah,
Joel.
that's probably true. Like, I was ranting about young kids last week, but really that same thing would apply to anybody. Like, it's even worse if you're an adult who acts like that.
Yep.
Like, kids have a little bit of the advantage of being
kids.
stupid when it comes to a lot of major life decisions, like threatening strangers on the internet. But adults, it's even worse, because you'd think by that point you're supposed to know like some things that you do and don't do, and threatening other people over games is one of the things you're not generally supposed to do as a productive adult member of society. But the truth is, I mean, people, they get on the internet and they feel like they're anonymous, and it's not the real world. What's the worst that could happen? And that's how all kinds of things spiral out of control. So
Pretty much.
yeah,
I'm an adult.
We all know that most of those angry tweets are probably Joel.
All of them are mine. It's all mine.
He's
I
bringing
was
that
telling Dave, I was
console
like-
rage over.
The funny thing is it's probably actually people very much almost like us, except we're just not vocal and right on it. Like, some of us might get a little bit angry or like, perturbed by something. Even with the SimCity stuff, we don't go on their forums and go,
Let's get
Slander,
some vocabulary
slander,
there, Joel.
slander.
That's some big words there. Easy.
it's totally fine to get upset, like to be upset about something or not like something. It's totally in your rights to do that. And it's okay to go online and talk about how you don't like something, but you should do it in a semi-respectful way, and not
like an adult.
Yeah, you don't make death threats because someone rebalanced some guns in Call of Duty. Like, that's not even close. It'd be okay to go on Twitter and be like, I'm not really crazy about the changes they made in the latest Call of Duty patch. Like, I don't like the changes. Okay, that's fine. Like, it's, it still doesn't really have anything to do with you, but It's okay. Like that's an acceptable form of expressing yourself.
Yep.
But when you go online and tweet at Dave Vandahar from Treyarch, I'll read some of these tweets. This is
Don't
what's
forget to
not
share
okay.
the blog.
Oh yeah, the blog is gamefury.tumblr.com.
Gay Fury.
Gamer Fury.
Joel.
So this first tweet is all caps. Fix the snipers or I'll effing kill you. Hashtag F Vonderhaar. Hashtag bring snipers back. Hashtag Vonder, and then a slur for homosexuals. So, next tweet. I want to kill you in your sleep for what you did. Next tweet. I will effing kill you. You give me back my rank 1 best. I will F your slit throat. What is your problem?
What?
I'm not really sure what that was supposed to say.
No, I think that was what it was supposed to say. That's pretty horrifying.
Oh wait, I will. Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah. Did you just process it? Like
I just
did?
processed it.
Oh,
Guys, don't do that. Here's someone telling him to rot in hell.
The one that got me was there was one. It's like a few pages back now, but someone tweeted him. It was like nice grammar and spelling, but the guy just simply said like, "I will find out where your kids go to school, and you will never see them again." I was just like, "Whoa, that's beyond crossing the line there." Like I'd be calling the cops.
Like, guys, this is just. Oh, David Vandahar, watch your back. The moment I see you at a COD convention, you're dead. Okay.
Hey fans.
You understand that your kids or whatever it is you have to live for are as good as dead. Are you serious?
It's like, it's so personal and specific is what gets me. It's not like, I'm so mad at you about this. It's like, I'm going to horrify you with details I know about you and your family.
A lot of these are so bad I can't even read them. Like, I can't even think of some way I could censor this enough to make it okay to read. Like, this is just horrible. And, like, if I was him, I would seriously be pursuing legal action against some of these people. Because, like, some of these are very public death threats. And your right to freedom of speech does not extend to threatening people's life. You have a freedom of speech, not freedom from the consequences of your speech.
I've gotten threats on my YouTube channel that people say, I will pay you $10 million if you bring this guy's head on a silver platter to my house.
Wait, 10 million? What's their username?
It's hilarious.
Anonymous Joel Hader, please contact Jeremiah at your earliest convenience.
Okay, so here's a guy who apparently took issue with my rant from last podcast. I'm not going to read his username until I'm done reading what he said.
Do you have the full comments? Did I save it?
Yes.
Okay.
He said, you guys bash on little kids so much, but you yourself look like you're 15. That was his first comment. I don't know who he was referring to. I'm going to guess he was referring to me because I was the one ranting about the little kids.
It was on my channel, though.
It wasn't your channel. Okay, so maybe you.
It could
Whether
be
it's you or me, I'll say
people
if
say
it was
I
me,
look kind of young too, so.
Well, this dude would seriously be the first person who's ever guessed I was younger than my actual age. Most people guess I'm like 30. I think it's because I'm maybe, like, I've always been kind of tall. So.
Yeah, in real life, you're very tall. It's hard to tell sitting down, but.
Right, so, but you think I'm 15? Great, I guess. I don't know. I'll be young forever. If you think Dave is 15, he has a very full beard for a 15-year-old. But
it's all the steroids. Don't judge me.
but yeah.
The firearms do it.
So Dave responded to the guy and said, I'd retort, but I'm not supposed to talk to strangers on the internet. And then this guy replied and said, good, you think you're being funny, but you're not. It's immature, just like you. And it's fine for, Guy, it's fine for you to think we're immature, but when your YouTube username is poop75018, maybe don't call other people immature if your username is poop.
Or maybe he just got us all.
Yeah.
Could have just gotten us all.
But honestly,
they're going to take me seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, we're not offended or anything. I mean,
I think leveling the accusation of being immature for this group is probably pretty fair.
Yeah, we don't make any claims to being super mature. We just.
I mean, what was our first podcast title?
Will there be pooping in DayZ?
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, DayZ is a hardcore, realistic survival simulator. Feces are an important part of the in-game simulation. Okay,
that was our
first podcast, right?
Yes, it was.
That was my
may
idea.
have argued that.
That was my idea too.
Yeah, we know.
I just want to make sure I had my mark on it.
Yes, you left your brown streaky mark all over it, Joel.
Shut up.
Oh,
Taking words out of my
yikes.
mouth.
Speaking of immature,
I was really speaking from my butt.
Yeah.
Wow. Then there was another good comment that said, one day someone will announce an open world pirate survival game. One day. Yeah, if there was an open world pirate survival game, I don't even have to tell you how there I am. Between
No
that,
kidding.
DayZ, and Star Citizen, if Star Citizen turns out like what it looks like, that's basically the world of Firefly. Like, I will put on the soundtrack, and I will be tooling around in game with the other 8,000 ships named Serenity. I'm betting.
I'm gonna be really original and go with Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
mine will probably
thanks to,
a crappy little pod because I won't have to afford anything. So I'll spend all my cash on drug cartel crap. Get caught and die within the first 10 minutes.
Did you guys see that a Firefly game was actually announced?
Yes, that was announced in the news section of this podcast that you obviously didn't listen to several weeks ago.
Whoops.
But it's
Was I
coming in.
on?
What?
Anyway.
No, you weren't on the podcast.
Okay.
But isn't it only iOS?
Yeah, it doesn't look too promising at this point.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It looks like a Facebook game. Whatever.
To finish up real quick, thanks to X-Ray 606, Poop 75018, and Tyler Sharp for writing in. Thanks for your comments, guys, and to the rest of you guys that comment on the YouTube videos. That's always lots of fun. Let's see. 2 quick notes here. If Jeremiah still has time to give me.
Yeah,
loud.
Yeah, go ahead.
One quick follow-up to the Battlelog trailer, which was a huge discussion last week in the podcast. The most exciting thing actually came from Reddit comments on the video. One of the DayZ devs confirmed that for PC players, they will actually be able to use their entire second screen as the minimap.
Now, here's what I'm thinking. Well, obviously, this means I don't care about using an iPad as a second screen now.
Yeah, screw that, I'm done.
Yeah. Now, would you want to have the mini-map on your second screen, or would you rather have the mini-map on your main screen and then have the full map of the entire battlefield on your second screen?
Or your whole third screen.
But I mean, think about it.
Okay, Edgar.
If you just take the mini-map and blow it up so it's massive, is that really that much better? Or would you rather have the full map view that you normally would hit M or hit escape or M or whatever to look at? Wouldn't you rather have that on your second screen and just keep your mini-map on your primary?
Yeah, I hope it's both, actually. I hope you still have the mini-map in the corner, and then you have just a full-screen version at that same resolution as pressing M in-game on your second screen. That would be the best solution.
That's what I would want.
Because I still want the quick peripheral vision, glance down to the corner.
Exactly.
If I'm getting, sniped, I want to be able to look up and be like, aha, there you are, sucker, I see you.
So World in Conflict, that's one of the only other PC games that actually uses the second monitor for a map that I'm aware of.
Supreme Commander.
Supreme Commander does too? Okay.
World in Conflict allowed you to actually just use the map functions. It was actually a real-time top-down view. But I heard that in Supreme Commander, you could actually, if you wanted to, scroll out completely and use your second screen and have 2 live views of the battlefield and actually mouse back and forth in command on both screens.
That's cool.
Which sounds pretty intense to me.
And
my hands aren't fast enough.
So I guess if you're using your second screen for the map, if you're playing as Commander, that would theoretically allow you to still play in the game and do Commander functions. Maybe, I don't know.
No, unfortunately, Commander works a bit differently compared to Battlefield 2. Servers will be 66 slots. There are 2 slots reserved just for Commanders. And
they won't even spawn in, I guess?
Yeah, I think the idea is that if you play Commander, don't bother sitting out your PC and doing it. Just get your iPad and play Commander with that. It's just easier. I guess. That's from
Interesting.
what I understand so far.
Well, I know, playing Commander mode in Battlefield
Seems kinda
2,
boring.
there was always the disadvantage, like you had to go lay in the back of the hangar somewhere,
Yeah.
and then bring up
It's
Commander
nice to
mode.
be able to hop in the fight, though. Like,
Yeah, it's nice to be like a pinch hitter,
On the other side, though, the teams that would have the commander who would actually jump in and fight were the teams that would eventually like fall apart.
Well, when
That's
we used to play
true.
Battlefield 2, we were playing with like 6 or 7 people at a time, so the commander was actually like a fourth of the team. We were playing on LAN, so the commander was actually like you'd run around, shoot some people, switch to commander mode, drop a supply drop, keep going. The couple times I tried to play as commander in Battlefield 2, yeah, I was like kicked from command or screamed out very, very quickly for doing anything other than being the commander. So
Yeah, from
probably
what I
a good call,
remember.
then.
Sorry, Chris.
I was saying probably a good call then.
Yeah, because I played a bit of Battlefield 2 online, and from what I remember, if you were a commander in a full 64-player server, like your mouse hand did not stop moving. You were constantly throwing things across the screen, and I couldn't keep up. I could never do it well, but people who did, like the command, like the little voice thing that pops up when the commander is doing something, was like constantly streaming text as he was dropping and spawning and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff constantly.
yeah, a good commander makes a big difference.
Certainly does.
And one final note from Dave's news here. It is now hour 11 of the DayZ Devblog watch. It is now, let's see, 2:30 a.m. in the Czech Republic, and apparently Dean and team are still at work working on the devblog. They might still be recording it at this point. It is supposed to still come out like today,
It's a
tomorrow.
7-hour video they're recording.
It would not surprise me. They're still working on it, but anticipation is high. The crowd is growing restless. It's like they're announcing a new pope or something. We're watching for the smoke. So watch out for DayZ Devblog awesomeness. Eventually, I guess.
Yeah,
I think we're all
eventually.
just kinda,
If it happens to go live during the podcast, we will stop everything and talk about it. But
you'll hear me
otherwise,
squeal, so that's how you'll know.
this podcast will probably be a bit shorter if it doesn't go live. And then if it happens to go live later, maybe we'll record Casual Conversations 2, the first one we did like 6 months ago.
Basically, though, at this point, don't plan your weekend around the devblog, because it's just going to happen when it happens.
Yeah. Next, we're going to the specials part of the podcast called the Half-Life 3 release update. Joel, is Half-Life 3 out yet?
Sources say no.
All right, moving on. It is time for 90 Seconds with Joel, the part of the
I forgot.
podcast.
There are no sources, so just no. Not even a source.
All right, 90 Seconds with Joel. Joel, what do you got
Is that
for
an
us?
engine joke, Joel?
I wasn't even trying to,
Source.
but yeah, I'll take that one. So 90 seconds. This is not game related at all.
Again.
This is a show. James,
As long
James,
as it's
you
not
know,
brisk related.
that was a great 90 seconds.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
It was
It was
terrible.
memorable. People came back and subscribed to this podcast just because of that.
I don't think anyone did.
Sorry, you're taking up my 90 seconds. Okay. James, as you know, comes on this podcast every once in a while. He has gotten me into a bunch of shows. Namely, lately, Supernatural. And he has not gone wrong yet. Now, he got me into Battlestar Galactica, and that is definitely my number 2 show of all time. Is Lost, and then Battlestar Galactica.
I'm okay with
Incredible. And then he recently started watching the show called Supernatural, and there's 7 seasons on Netflix right now. It is incredible. But he warned me, and this is a very good warning. The very first season of Supernatural is awful. I mean, one of the worst shows ever.
that. People keep telling me to watch it. I couldn't. I
Yeah.
made it like 10 episodes in. I was just like, I can't do it.
No, okay.
I can't do it
Literally,
anymore.
okay. Here's the thing: it's the craziest thing. If I were to rate the first season, like the first, I think there's 22 episodes in the first season. The last 3 episodes are literally a 10. The episodes up to it are literally like a 2 or a 1, like just barely watchable.
So it's like the first season of Buffy.
I never watched that, but
You've never seen Buffy.
I haven't seen it. But anyways, yeah.
Never seen Buffy.
I'm glad I slowly worked. I just force-fed myself all the way through first season because you at least get to know the characters, so it's a little bit better to get the last. But the last 3 episodes are edge of your seat, incredible. It's just like it's a different show. And then season 2 is just like, holy crap, what is this show? This is amazing. Like, I don't know what they did, but definitely recommend it. But oh my gosh, you can pretty much just watch every other episode of season 1 or just like episode 1, episode 10, and then episode 20. And if you like that, you can kind of slowly go back into other episodes. But, I just wanted to recommend that to anybody out there.
Yeah, I hear it's really good. I've got some friends who really like it, but I could never get into it. So that's good to know. Maybe I'll just like read a synopsis of season 1 on Wikipedia, watch the last 3 episodes, and move on.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is kind of a Monster of the Week show, though, right?
It is.
Ew.
No, partly. But season 2, it actually starts building and building. But, oh my goodness. Like, I was like, we were both like, you've got to be kidding. This is incredible. But you really love the characters. Like, really love the characters towards the middle. Almost too much love. I'm going to stop now.
Well, thank you for stopping right when it got weird.
Yikes.
If I could recommend some shows, Terriers. If you've never watched Terriers, you owe it to yourself to see that. It was only one season. It was canceled. It just never got the audience it needed to stay on, but it's fantastic. Chris, did you see that? Did I recommend that to you?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay, you should look it up. I think it's on Netflix. But it was made by one of the creators of The Shield, Sean Ryan. And it's very good. It's about 2 detectives. Only made it 1 season, but I highly recommend it. And then the other co-creator of The Shield, or one of the other co-creators, went on to make Sons of Anarchy, which, if you've ever heard of that,
yeah.
it's kind of it's loosely based on, I think, the Hells Angels, and it was also inspired by this book, Under and Alone, which is the story of a DEA agent ATF agent who infiltrated the Mongols, which is the most violent motorcycle gang in America, and the Hells Angels rival gang.
Oh, yeah, the one that your mom's a part of.
My mom does ride motorcycles. What's your
really?
point? Yeah. She's got a motorcycle. What's your point?
That's kind of awesome, actually.
It's a single stroke Suzuki. Come at me. single stroke. No, right. Sorry.
Come at my mom, bro.
Single cylinder. She's got the chaps and everything.
Oh.
Yes, she does. I'm so sorry.
You can be kicked from this call. You can be.
I'm so sorry. Don't ban me.
And anyway, the show is actually a retelling of Hamlet. It's based on the idea of an outlaw motorcycle club, but it's a retelling of Shakespeare's Hamlet, which you would never know unless you're a big fan of Hamlet, or if you read where the show creator told you that. And then you can be like, oh, I see the similarities. But if you're like me and you hated Hamlet when you had to read it in school, then you probably won't see many similarities. But it's a very good show if you like its style. If you don't, then you probably won't like it. Also, Breaking Bad is coming back for the final 8 episodes in like a couple weeks.
The last season 5 episodes are on Netflix right now. The first 8.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm hitting that tomorrow. That's right.
How caught up are you with Breaking Bad, Dave?
I am up through the end of season 4. So
okay, so you only have season 5, the first half of season 5, and then the second half.
8 episodes, right? I think so far.
Yeah, 8 8 on the front half, 8 on the back. Yep, should be either really good or really disappointing. We will see. But
I really hope it ends well.
We actually set it aside about a third of the way into season 4 just because it was really brutal and it's a heavy show to watch like casually. Mm-hmm. We had watched like up to that point almost sequentially over like 4 months or so, and we're just like, it's time for a break. We just took a break for a few months. When we came back though, we started like a third of the way into season 4. Once it got rolling, we watched like the rest of the episodes in like a week.
That's kind of how Sons of Anarchy is. Like, they're definitely not good people, and it's really hard to feel good about most of their personal decisions. Yeah. But when it really gets rolling, it's very, very entertaining.
That's why you just need to intersperse, like, Breaking Bad and Parks and Rec or something.
Yeah.
Or
New Girl. New Girl. If you haven't seen New Girl, it is one of the best comedies I think that's come out in several years.
Oh, you like it now? Didn't I tell you about that show?
No, I started watching it like
Joy and I are
day
huge
one.
fans of the show.
Yeah,
Love it.
It's a really good new comedy. It's similar style comedy to Parks and Recreation, which is also fantastic. So yeah, it's always good to have like a half-hour comedy you can throw in there. When all the depressing shows you're watching get to be too much. When you're watching season 3 of Game of Thrones and you just feel like you need to go sit and cry for a while.
Don't say anything. I've got like 4 episodes left to finish season 3.
Oh, okay. Well, all you have is the happy parts.
Somehow I feel you're lying to me.
No, man. No, it's really uplifting. It really goes into like, they just skip over like the winter is coming part. They just go right to summer and like everything's good.
It's a great show, Joel, to watch on like a lazy Sunday afternoon where you just want to like relax and kick back on the couch.
Get yourself some lemonade, sit back, open up the blinds,
funeral.
let the sunlight in. It'll be a good day, I promise you. Now, Chris, had you decided if you were going to be getting massive topic transition.
Massive topic jump.
Had you decided if you were going to be getting a GTX card for your rendering at home?
I'd like to, but I haven't made that final decision yet because I haven't been doing many of those projects at home anyway. So it's kind of thing like a want, but not a need.
Right. Okay. I just knew you'd been talking about it. I didn't know if you'd made any decisions.
No.
Okay.
My dreams of updating my computer are slowly dwindling away.
Why?
Because... Oh, man.
Don't do this to me, Joel. Don't do this to me. I need to live vicariously through your upgrades.
I know, I want to so bad, but I have a huge Amazon wish list that I've been putting together for the film that I've been working on.
Oh.
All the props I got to buy, everything, and I'm looking at it just crying, going, oh my God.
Just ask your mom for more money.
Well, she's out, and so is your mom.
So is none of this stuff that we could like get at thrift stores? Like thrift stores?
Not really, no.
Not really? Man, that's rough.
Yeah, not really.
Like junk
It's like
yard sales?
There are all sorts of like medical supplies. There's some things I might ask if people have any of these, but I'm buying a few throat mics. Anyone knows what that is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got like military throat mics for like whatever. Getting some of that for this battle scene I'm gonna shoot. I have these
Do I get to wear a
blood
throat mic?
capsules for. Heck yes, you do.
Sweet.
Like these blood capsules, spray blood, various airsoft rifles, depending if other people don't have it. Helmets, and each of these like helmets I have to buy are like $30 a piece. They're really awesome though.
You ought to send me a list so we can see how much of this we can outsource.
Yeah, and by helmets they're more like medical, just really cool looking stuff. But
Medical helmets?
What is a medical helmet?
hard to explain. I have to buy I got to buy a rollable laptop stand.
I have
IV
one, Joel.
stand.
I have one.
You have a laptop stand, but
Rolling laptop stand? Yeah, I have one.
okay.
Yeah, dude. Send us your wish list.
Of it.
We want you to.
I probably will.
We want you to upgrade your
Joel's gonna
computer.
judge my free furniture now. Screw you.
We want you to upgrade your computer bad enough that we'll see what we can make happen. Send us your list. I'll see what we got.
Yeah, okay. Here's the funniest part. I said this to my friend Ben, and he laughed so hard because now when you go on Amazon, it shows like recommended stuff.
no.
It's all messed up.
Okay, this is really bad. I was looking for some kind of mask or things I could use that these raiders, kind of bandit apocalyptic people could wear, and I was looking at some creepy stuff like in a Halloween section, right? Well, it really quickly went from Halloween to really, really creepy, kinky type stuff. but there was an item I was like, hey, that actually kind of might work. Like if I paint it.
Sanitize it.
Yeah. But now, like my recommendation list, Ben was like, oh my gosh, you into some dark stuff, Joel.
Joel, you are on so many NSA lists right now.
I know. My wish list is so weird. It's like flexible white vinyl duct, plexiglass crap, masks, guns, helmets, blood.
That doesn't sound good. That sounds
I've
very
got
not good.
Yeah, crime tape, ultra bright LED standard police beacons,
Yeah, Joel has
a
actually been
two-handed
building.
katana.
If you guys
Someone
remember
needs
from
to
the
find themselves like an Army Navy surplus store or something and stop
Where do I go?
looking over this on Amazon.
Let me go look at my recommendations. Mine shouldn't be nearly that bad.
I think my favorite part, Joel, was you were telling me about your building what's essentially those like medical tubing systems from the movie E.T. like in your apartment.
Yeah.
If you get a package delivery, they're gonna call the FBI.
I need to have it go up to my door so when the pizza guy comes and opens it, it's like, what the crap?
This is a sanitized zone. Give me the pizza.
Mine
More
looks pretty
tears, only
normal.
dreams.
Mine's all camera gear.
Yeah, mine's mostly just electronics and car parts those being the two biggest things that I get on Amazon. So
Mine is a lot of gun stuff and coffee.
that does caffeine and firearms. Anyway, I'm sure everyone's been thrilled by us talking about our Amazon recommendations pages.
Only the most enthralling content for you guys.
Wait, how are we doing on the DayZ Devblog? Nothing yet?
DayZ Devblog watched hour 11. No
Still nothing?
Devblog.
No Devblog. No tweets?
Okay, I do have a confession though. I actually have Dean's YouTube page up, and I'm checking that occasionally in case the video goes live before the Devblog. I just tabbed back to it, and I briefly read. There's a line that says, for the last Devblog, uploaded 4 months ago. I read it as uploaded 4 minutes ago, and my heart skipped a beat for a second. Then I realized it was months, not minutes.
Oh,
Dang.
Dave, you can text me late tonight if it comes out, because you shouldn't be alone watching this.
Thanks, Joel. I'm glad you're here for me.
You can text me as long
Really
as it's
helps me
not too
out.
late. I got meetings tomorrow. I care, but, kinda. I care up to a point.
We'll text you if it's any better than the random, pixelated weird crap and just walking around at random angles.
I'm betting that once again it's going to be a resampled video with frame blending turned on, maximum head bob, and maximum motion blur. Oh, and mouse DPI at 9,000.
Yeah.
For instant 360s.
One DayZ thing we should talk about before the podcast goes off tonight is DayZ and Arma 3. Someone has finally used All-in Arma, the mod that lets you use Arma 2 assets in Arma 3. They've patched DayZ, or ported DayZ into Arma, and it's actually pretty good. Dave and I both played the other night, and the lighting, I played only at night, and the nighttime lighting just by itself makes it worth it.
Let's be honest, Jeremiah. We played briefly a few nights ago, and then I played it 4 hours later.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I kept going. You know me. I can't help it.
But the physics are, of course, a lot better. The sounds, didn't you notice the gun sounds being better?
Arma 3 seems to have some kind of in-engine sound processor that
Right.
really pumps up the sounds.
The atmospheric quality of the guns, it makes them sound a lot better, I think.
I did notice compared to the devlogs, you mentioned the lighting. The Arma 3 lighting engine does look great in the mod.
It's too
You can
bright.
Yes, you can tell in standalone they spent a lot of time tweaking the lighting in the skybox to actually better match the map. Because the lighting engine was built around Stratus,
Right.
the Greek maps. So it doesn't quite fit, but it's a huge improvement. Seeing light coming through buildings as you're crawling through them is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's definitely worth checking out. The performance isn't bad. It depends on what server you're playing on.
Yeah. I did notice too that we're back to the first few months of the mod DayZ and Arma 2 last year, where the desync is just so bad sometimes. My first player encounter, I got ambushed by a guy, and I heard he was there because I was killing a zombie trying to sneak up on him. I realized he was behind me when he emptied half a mag into me. When I turned around, we were all frozen. I pulled my pistol out, shot him in the head 8 times, pulled up my rifle, or I think it was a shotgun, shot him again. We just kind of awkwardly stood there, both horribly desynced. I then ran away, and 45 seconds later, he instantly died. My legs broke, and I fell over half dead, out in the middle of the field as it reconnected. It was just so laggy.
Yeah, it's it's definitely, I would consider it to be definitely alpha DayZ. I'd say the DayZ mod's probably in beta at this point, even though I guess it's still officially an alpha or never
It's
left
officially
alpha.
still just an alpha.
But I would say it's probably beta quality. They've got most of the kinks ironed out in the mod.
Yeah.
Except for all the stuff that's inherent to Arma 2's design.
But the zombie pathfinding.
Right. But everything that the mod could realistically fix, they pretty much have fixed.
Speaking of the mod being an alpha, there was a bit of a troll on the mod website from the web designer that freaked everybody out for a minute. There's the big download DayZ mod button on the mod website.
Mm-hmm.
It used to just say download DayZ. Well, someone changed it to say download DayZ alpha. And just below it is the mod version number, but just the word download DayZ alpha, people freaked out briefly.
People, you just got to get a hold of yourselves, okay? I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm enjoying it at this point. I'm just saying. It is quite entertaining.
I'll be excited to play it, but I'm not staying up at nights waiting and wishing. But I'm happy for everybody who's pulling some happiness from this.
I'm happy for Dave's happiness, to be honest.
That's true.
He's gonna pull the rest of our weight around her for the game, because he's what brings us together. He's the center of what DayZ is for us. We're like, all right, we'll play it with you, Dave. It's out, guys. It's out, guys. There's a new type of loot. This time it's trash bags. Oh my gosh.
Are trash bags confirmed? Think
Can
about
I
the
add-
loot you can carry.
Can I add one small segment right before, if you're wrapping it up?
Sure, you didn't tell me about this ahead of time, so I feel like this is a risk, but I'll allow it.
Now, I was just gonna say, what's everyone playing? Just real quick though. Start with you, Chris. What are you recently
I'm
playing?
kind of between games right now. I'm not even sure. I was playing Skyrim a little bit, more my survivalist playthrough, kind of the cold weather, hypothermia stuff all turned on, and food requirements and all that. But I don't really know. So
Chris, you are a man after my own heart.
I tried a hardcore setting on that to see how long I'd last. I didn't make it out of the first village. The very first intro village, I died.
Of hypothermia, actually.
Dave?
Let's see, currently playing Battlefield 3, of course. I'm at rank, I think, 97 finally.
Ooh,
Colonel
going
97.
for it. Going for it.
I want to hit 100, but I'm not like forcing it. I want to just play until I get there. So, and then Red Orchestra 2 / gosh, what is the expansion pack called? Rising Storm.
Yeah.
I played like 4 hours of that last night, and it is actually a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it now. It's awesome.
Cool.
What about you, Skinner?
I've, as you know, I'm not buying any more games until I play through everything in my Steam library, or not play through, but play everything in my Steam library. Currently, besides Arma and DayZ and Battlefield, the stuff we play together, I'm playing Civilization 5.
I'm sorry. For your loved ones.
Actually, I'll talk about that in a minute. Civilization 5, Super Meat Boy, The Binding of Isaac briefly, Oil Rush. I finished Hotline Miami. I'm playing Rage. I think that's everything I'm playing right now. Civ 5, I keep making turns and I'm waiting for like something to happen. Like I'm not sure when it's supposed to get amazing, but it's not amazing yet. I've just got these 2 little towns and some
You're probably
workers.
not in it like 700 hours yet.
Some workers.
Yeah, how many
and-
hours are you in? You need to like kind of get to the Empire state when you really start getting in some conflicts and stuff.
I'm in an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah. No,
Oh,
You
I'm
Jeremiah,
casual.
think about it this way.
All
Remember
right.
when you were playing Total War and you played for like a ridiculous amount of time in 1 week? It was pretty
Oh.
much all you did other than eat, sleep, and go to class.
Maybe like 40 hours.
Yeah.
I may have just reinstalled it the other day.
Sounds like Total War.
Really? Okay.
I reinstalled
It's
Medieval
that-
2.
It's that, but better. It's like the world map of that, which is what you really enjoyed.
No, I enjoyed the battles.
No, because I distinctly remember you kind of skipping through those at the end.
Well, sometimes
because
I would skip through the battles, yes. But, well, I enjoyed it
Yeah.
all. Okay, fine.
Civilization is the world map of that, just with more depth and more polish.
All right, I'll keep playing. I'll keep going.
That might be actually one of the games I might be going back to here pretty shortly.
I mean,
That's
I've also
Civilization
been playing
game
Endless
scares me.
Space, which is basically Civilization in space with spaceships and stuff.
everything I read about it makes it sound like it's like this giant pile of cocaine. And then
Gaming
Gandhi's,
cocaine.
and then Gandhi's a jerk. That's all I read about the game. And so far, it hasn't been that. It hasn't been that for me. That doesn't. I mean, I will keep playing it. It's been a while since the game basically consumed all of my thoughts in that way.
We need a first-person shooter Gandhi game.
Do we?
Yes. Yes, we do.
All right. What are you playing, Joel?
I've been searching for a really good game to be able to have on my Mac to sometime play during like a lunch break at work.
Wait, I'm
Because
sorry,
there's not
could you
really
say
any
part of
good
that?
games on Mac.
Yes. Thank you.
Like, there'll be good games. Like, Borderlands 2 is on it, but I have not seen anyone's Mac that can actually run it. Like,
I'm going to go ahead and
at
call
all.
it here. August 2nd, Jeremiah declares victory. I'm
You're
going to go
just
ahead and
making
call
all my
it.
points for me, Joel. There aren't any good games on Mac, and the Macs can't
Hey,
run
Macs
them.
are for doing professional business stuff, you know. Games are for PCs. Anyways.
Really? As long as you don't need faster than a 5870 to do your professional video work
Well,
with.
you know, I'd rather have my Mac look like trash and work good than have my PC actually work as trash.
You are making all of the PC arguments, Joel. Looking like trash and working well, that's PC. Is having the disgusting lights and fins and fans and actually working.
You said
I
the new
like my
MacBook-
case.
You said the new Mac Pro looks like a trash can.
It looks like a trash can. It doesn't look like trash. It looks like a trash can.
Yeah, it is pretty sleek looking, actually.
Which, okay.
Anyway.
All right, no. Let's park here.
Do
Why-
you guys are go ahead and belt in, guys? We're gonna be here for a while.
Do we need
Park-
to vote?
parking
Do we need
brake
to
on?
vote on parking here?
We've been here so many times.
We
The
haven't
scenery never changes.
Go, let it rip.
It's like parking up at Makeout Point. The scenery doesn't have to change. That's not why you're there. That analogy is a bit thin. But all right, why would they
That's what she
redesign?
said.
No one buys. Why does this even make sense? No one buys the Mac Pro because they want the most stylish Mac. The Mac Pro is all about it's about power. That's what it's always been about. If you need power, you can get all the power you want here. It's them saying, "Hey, we know that iMacs look nice, but they're not really that fast." And obviously iPads, MacBooks, they're okay for most people. But if you're a working professional and you need serious power, you get a Mac Pro.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, but I've been encountering this again and again, like at work. Like, there's just so many people that aren't power users. Like, and a lot of designers and a lot of even video people sometimes are in that category. And it surprises me every time. Like, I know in our community it's kind of stacked against us, but I think that's really what Apple's gunning for. And because it's a majority of the market. I don't know if you guys have...
there's a huge fad thing. There's so many people I know that it makes me laugh when they're like, "Oh, you just got to have Final Cut Pro and a zillion gigs of whatever for a MacBook Pro." And I'm like, dude, you're spending like $4,000. You don't even know how to do Final Cut Pro or shoot a video or edit. You have no idea.
You can't edit a video in anything other than Final Cut. Do you want it to look like garbage?
Yeah, I use Sony Vegas Pro on Windows because I think Final Cut Pro is
Are
terrible.
you using Vegas for your movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I maintain that
I would
Sony
use
Vegas.
Final Cut Pro. I would use the Mac, but it's very slow. I used I helped edit a movie that I worked on, a big movie, had a huge budget on it, and I helped edit for several weeks. And we used Final Cut Pro, and this thing was a full, like, spec'd out. I think it was, at the time, it was like 16 gigs of RAM. It was the top level Mac Pro. It could barely handle the footage. It was 4K, but I would bring it over on my... I brought it over onto my laptop. And I just had a MacBook laptop, and I had Windows running on it with Sony Vegas. I could run the same footage just as fast. I was really surprised. I'm like, why would you waste so much money on this? Everything was sluggish, and so...
Really, the only thing I think Vegas isn't good at is the render. It's very slow with rendering. But other than that...
it's not good at that, and it's also not good at handling lots of files, like the way you have like when you do a film, you don't shoot everything in sequence, right?
Right.
It's really great for small stuff.
Yeah, it's
but
not good
I've
for
used
asset
it for so
management.
long. Yeah,
it's hard to do asset management. And Premiere is nice because it lets you queue renders, and it's very hard to do that in Vegas. You have to do a lot of finagling.
And it's easy to bring into After Effects and the Photoshop.
Yeah. Premiere's got advantages like that, but Vegas, it is the easiest to use video software I've ever used, and it makes more sense. It's more logical than most of the other ones I've used. Like, they put labels on things.
I think Vegas' slogan should be "enough for most."
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy, but it's pretty powerful too.
But that sums up MacBook Pros and iMacs too. It's enough for most people.
Oh, hey, there you go.
But
Did I just solve world peace right there?
I would love to have the trash can Mac. That one, I think it'd be. I love the design of it. I love just them breaking out of the box of trying to do something different that's meant to be like super.
But by breaking out of the box, they're making it less convenient, because now if you want to expand it, you have to use Thunderbolt ports. So now you're taking this sleek computer and then running wires off of it if you want to expand anything. Like, that's, I guess it's a lot smaller than a typical Mac Pro, but for a power user, is the size really I don't know. I don't understand why they did it. We'll see how well they sell. The Mac Pros haven't really been selling that well because, honestly, the way computing technology has been going, iMacs are actually pretty fast.
Oh, yeah, I know. I always recommend, buy an iMac instead of a Mac Pro. I'm like, you're not going to notice the 2 gigs of extra RAM or the 4 gigs of extra RAM for what you're doing. I'm like, you're doing Photoshop.
If you don't know what you need,
sorry, you're not gonna. Yeah, you're not. Gonna
if you don't know what you need, an iMac is fine. If you need a Mac
Exactly.
Pro, you know why you need a Mac Pro.
Yeah.
And if you think you need a Mac Pro, you should probably build a PC.
Yeah.
Unless you have to
Well,
edit
that's
with
kind of
Final
true
Cut
in every
Pro.
case.
If you have to edit with Final Cut Pro and After
Yeah.
Effects, then you know.
Yeah, After
go
Effects
with
and
that.
Final Cut are like two minor exceptions.
After
If you're a
Effects is on
special
PC.
snowflake.
After Effects is on PC. I have After
It
Effects.
is, but I'm not impressed with.
It's
I
a lot
use
faster on Mac. Or
Yeah,
I haven't
I
noticed
use
any
stable.
difference.
5.5, and I'm not
Really?
too impressed with it. Yeah, it's very sluggish on both computers that I use it on.
I haven't noticed any performance problems. That's interesting.
It might be I have my scratch drive set up incorrectly then.
Back to my original starting, I was gonna say I'm trying to look for a game.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
two
Wow, what a
years ago,
deviation.
I bought the
Oh,
game
boy.
Prison Architect because I've been on a prison kick, watching every prison show documentary there is. I don't know why. I'm just maybe I'm getting ready to go.
Watch Orange is the New Black.
I've already watched the whole season, like
it's
in like
good.
5 days.
Yep,
So
it's good.
I'm finishing it
Yeah.
tonight. Actually, I'm very excited. It's excellent. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Anyway, so I bought it. It's a blast. I love it. It's actually the kind of sim game I've been looking for because I've tried SimCity,
You know,
where you're like
managing other
managing
people's
buildings
lives.
and stuff. I like managing like people.
So basically,
And I
if they come out with Plantation Tycoon, you're all over that.
Oh,
No, I'm just asking. You just said you like managing people
I
that
probably
can't
would.
leave.
But I'm horrible because I told Dave the first thing I did, and and this is because I didn't really understand the game yet because it's still like in alpha or beta or whatever.
It's
whatever,
alpha.
whatever. And
anyways,
anyways,
all those prison shows are getting to your language there, Joel.
hey yo. Anyways,
Don't. Don't.
here's this little square of the warden's office, and between it is a long column that connects to all the prison cells. So all the prisoners have to walk through the warden's office like consistently throughout the day. And so I made it so that their meals are always the same. You can vary it up. So they were eating the same gruel every day, and they got really pissed and they attacked the warden, like killed him, killed all the people, and then broke through a door and escaped. I was like, this game's awesome.
That sounds terrible, but
Back to
I
you, Steve.
am now Googling it. I'm going to try this out.
If I remember correctly, Rocket is actually a character. Like, there's some certain like main.
I think
character
everybody is a
prisoners.
Kickstarter. Like everyone who funded the game has a name, I think, in it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Right there. Yeah, yeah. So there's a bunch of developers and stuff in the game. I've heard from various places, streamers, YouTubers, developers.
Interesting.
One of the convicts is like why he was put in prison. It was like he murdered someone while murdering someone. I was like, what?
Double Jeopardy.
If you want to be part of the podcast, write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com with your tech questions or your comments or your other things you'd like to say. Or
Netflix
you can
ramblings.
tweet at us, Casual Shenaniga, tweet at Evil Viking, JERMgaming, or follow us on YouTube, Evil Viking 13, JERMgaming, Boundless MP. Chris, one of these days you got to come up with something for people to follow you on. Maybe you can create it. You can create like a Tumblr where you just reblog inspirational quotes and things that
Yeah,
you
there
like.
you go.
If you guys actually want to follow Chris in real life, here's his address.
Good luck.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Out of all the people I know who I wouldn't want to catch following me or them to catch me following them, it'd be Chris, because he could very easily go from "oh hey" to "I'm gonna kill you."
If anyone's following the paleo diet, you can follow my Tumblr blog at paleos.tumblr.com.
Wait, is this serious?
It's
I
serious.
forgot
Yeah.
about this.
It's so
Are
it's
you on
paleo,
Paleo?
but with 2 O.
This isn't.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, 2 O's. Because
Yeah, 2
there
O's.
is a Paleos. That guy looks way more handsome than you.
Paleos.tumblr.com.
Paleo.
And so this is
Joel.
just my blog on what my experience is like as living as a paleo.
Well, as someone who eats very similar to that, what do you think of paleo?
What? What?
I eat very similar to that, and I really like it. So,
Oh boy.
what are your thoughts?
We have a lot of people actually at our work that eat that, and it's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty awesome. And you will find that my blog is not serious whatsoever. No, not at all. But actually,
Come on,
the place
Jeremiah.
where
This is Joel we're talking about here.
the house where I've been filming my movie at for the last year, one of my good friends there, he's a gluten-free person, so he's been trying to live the paleo diet. I believe it is, but anyways, it's awesome because I was just like joking with him, like, "Hey, let's go get some pizza." Oh wait.
Oh, so you're not actually on this diet at all?
No, I'm not.
Come on,
but-
Jeremiah.
but
This is
I have-
Joel we're talking.
but I
Just
do-
trying to have
but
a serious conversation with a
No,
friend
no,
of mine.
I
and
do
he's just
appreciate
"Screw
though. I think
you."
it's fine. We actually have cut down on a incredibly a lot less bread than usual, like a huge amount, which is great. So we actually try to do like I think we're bound to like 25% compared to what we've usually been eating of bread. So we're not like crazy where like every cereal brand has to be completely gluten free, but like just overall like eating bread, like sandwiches and all that stuff. We're just trying different.
What about sugar? Have you trimmed out a lot of sugar?
Well, for the past 2 weeks now, I've only drank water, except for this.
That nasty ice stuff.
But yeah,
Joel,
I don't really...
I was with you at work when you bought that Coke. Don't you?
When was
let
that?
us.
When was that? When was that?
It was like 3 days ago. We went out to the snack shop and you got a glass
was it?
bottle of Coke.
Did we have it? No way. I did
Yes,
not get a
you
Coke
did.
3 days ago.
This is awkward.
I don't think it was.
It was. It was
I'm
within
sure
the
it was
last 3 or 4
Maybe it's been a
days.
week. Maybe it's been a week. It might have been last week, so maybe it's not 2 weeks. It feels like forever.
It was Tuesday at the latest.
No way.
Joel, I'm gonna go in your cubicle on Monday. I'm gonna find like a drawer full of empty Coke bottles. Don't be mad at me.
Screw you guys.
For more on Joel's diet, be sure to follow him on.
All right, that's been the podcast that has almost nothing to do with Battlefield DayZ or anything PC gaming related.
Wait. DayZ Blog Watch update. It
What?
is now 3 o'clock in the morning in the Czech Republic, and the blog is not live.
All right,
Aw, dang it.
so we will see you guys all next time, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a part of the show, and bye.
See you guys.
Later, guys.